All right, joining us now, Sean Spicer with the Republican National Committee, and we'll be joined shortly, we hope, we're working out the technical issues, by DNC Communications Director Mo Ellifi. Good to have you here, Sean.
Thanks, Michelle. Great to be with you.
I was going to ask Mo, am I being too negative? I think you probably think I'm not.
I think you've sounded off a pretty good list of what's going on right now. It is what it is. It's a state of play. I think the one thing that's being overlooked is it's not just the number of people that are actually signing up, because what we're finding out day after day is that those front-end glitches are now exposing some back-end glitches, meaning as the insurers go in to find out who has signed up for their insurance plan, they're not getting the information they need. So you, the consumer, are going to the website, signing up for picking the plan. Not that many of them, by the way, according to the numbers that you're putting out there. But then when the insurance companies get that information, it's incomplete, it's wrong, and this is going to lead to even more widespread problems as people are supposed to be rolling into these plans January 1st.
What are the implications of that? The insurance companies don't know, and so therefore, due to uncertainty, they raise prices, or they, what?
Well, I think the number one concern that we have is the individuals. You're being told you're going to pay a fine, that your insurance is going to end as you know it at the end of December, and then January 1st, you're supposed to be enrolled in these new programs. The problem is that when you go to actually utilize these new programs, you make a doctor's appointment, you get into an accident, if you will, or have to go see a doctor, and the insurance isn't there on the back end because it never actually was processed correctly. That's going to be, absolutely catastrophic.
Somebody's not getting paid for the services, or you can't get the services that you thought you had. All right,
yeah, or you just frankly get denied, or you get a big bill that says, hey, we never actually confirmed that you were enrolled. Here's the tab.
All right, let's talk more also about the website. The sign-up process seems to be improving, but now you were talking about the back end. It's sending the consumer information to insurers. That's a big problem. According to the Washington Post, the reports are riddled with errors, such as listing a spouse as a child. Some records are duplicated. Other enrollments are lost entirely, Sean was talking about. And these are for plans that are supposed to start on January 1st. And this is from a website that some reports indicate cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make. Our next guest knows a thing or two about the exchanges. Here now is Brandon Cruz. He's president of Go Health, a private insurance exchange. From what I understand, Mr. Cruz, you are the first private insurance healthcare exchange that's actually been able to connect to healthcare.gov, and people who go to your website are actually able to sign up for the insurance. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. At gohealth.com, you can go online, shop, find your plan you want, and our licensed agents will help you complete your enrollment online.
How hard was this? I was reading. We have you can go to CNBC.com and read this. I understand it was pretty difficult to get set up because just communicating with the government-run website was difficult.
Yeah, there's been challenges, as everybody's obviously seen. Fortunately, lots of progress has been made on the government side with healthcare.gov in the past couple weeks or month, and they've been able to fix some major blocking issues that were preventing us from completing enrollments. Last week they fixed them, and starting this week we've got it up and running and ready to go.
How many are you doing so far?
I don't know. We just did it yesterday. It's been kind of a flurry. Lots of people have found out that we're the only place to go complete your enrollment, so we're obviously just kind of slammed right now with people calling in and signing up.
So you are seeing heavy demand?
We are seeing heavy demand, yes. We have been since October 1st. What we've been doing up until now is taking appointments and telling people we'll call them back when we can complete an enrollment. So we're just in the kind of beginning phases of calling everybody back right now as well.
When you read about how they decided to do healthcare.gov, I mean, it's become pretty clear when we finally now have just learned that they actually didn't do a bidding process for building the website, that it was an emergency procurement. It was because they thought they could do it themselves. Would anybody in their right mind think that this arm of the government had the ability to build a website as dramatically big as this?
Well, I don't know exactly what capabilities they have. For me, this is my first time interacting directly with the IT staff in this branch of the government. I can tell you they've been very, very cooperative and very communicative with us. But I think it's just a project that was a very, very large undertaking, and it needed to be done in a very short time. And it's just it's something that might have been close to an impossibility.
It had to be done in a very short time because it took so long for them to get around starting it, right? I mean, the bill was passed a long time ago, and yet the attempts to actually get the website under construction, it apparently delayed until this past summer.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I understand. I don't know the details of why, but yeah, knowing that it started, I think August 1st, that seems like just a massive undertaking. That
you run an IT, you run a website. How long should they have allotted for getting this thing up and running?
Oh, I would have liked over a year in an ideal situation. If you know you have it a couple years in advance, you start building. The issue is you've got to bring together an entire industry, right? All kinds of different technologies, all kinds of different companies. And then, in this situation, they're actually integrating with various databases on the back end of the federal government, which adds even more complexity. So, yeah, obviously, the more time, the better in this scenario.
Sean Spicer, would more time have helped, or is it that, I mean, is an arm of the government ever going to be good at doing this kind of big project and program?
No, I think this is something that we warned about from the beginning. We were talking about 1/6 of the entire U.S. economy being taken over by this. I don't think it's a matter of time. I mean, the entire program was flawed from the get-go. The notion that the government was going to come in and try to tell people what kind of insurance they were going to get and regulate this is not something that is best left to the government. It's something that, from a Republican standpoint, we were making that very clear from the beginning. The difference, too, the bigger issue, and one of the things that keeps getting forgotten in this debate, is that when the Democrats did this, they rushed it through. They did not want nor welcome any Republican support. Neither chamber had any Republican votes. In fact, they rushed it through the Senate. As people may recall, Senator Scott Brown was elected to fulfill the seat that Senator Kennedy has, and they rushed the vote so that he wouldn't be able to do it. And now they're concerned that, Republicans are saying, hey, you should work with us to fix it. They didn't want Republican input when they were building it, and they didn't care about it during the time, and now they're concerned about Republican, input afterwards. I think that's a little disingenuous because we were warning at the time that this was not a good idea. It was not going to work the way it was supposed to, and here we are.
Brandon, would you have wanted to bid on the ability to do this website if it had ever come up?
Yeah, I think we definitely would have been interested in doing at least parts of the website. There's maybe some stuff that would be better left to either the internal IT staff at the federal government or maybe another contractor, but there's definitely parts that we could have done a very good job on.
But you just never got the opportunity.
Michelle, I'd say that the one big thing is that and I think Brandon would acknowledge this, is that any private company would have never, and he seems to have alluded that, would have never allowed something this important and this big of a priority in terms of what this administration said that or created in terms of how big this was going to be of an issue for them, and then leaving it to the last second, not doing that really calls into question how prepared they were in the first place to handle this.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. Brandon and Sean, and we regret we couldn't work out the technical problems with Mo Alifi from the Democratic National Committee. All right, now